Damage 365 Radio with your host Kevin Nasta and John Torrey.
It's time to play the game. Time to play the game. It's all about the game, and how you play it, all about control. And if you can take it, all about your debt. And if you can pay it, it's all about pay. And who's gonna make it? I am the game, you don't play me.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Damage 365 Radio. This is episode number 38. This is the final episode of 2013, and this is the final episode of Damage 365 Season number 1. We come live from our radio station here in Firstwood Beach, New Jersey, and we have the real number 8 JT, who, after a 4-week hiatus, is back in the house.
And it's the house I should be in, and I'm glad to be here.
We also have Nick the Beard live in the house.
I'm here, guys. How you doing?
Awesome. We got a good show lined up. Some schedule changes that we originally said we were going to do from last week. But without further ado, let's get right into our shout-out segment so we can get this ass-kicking show underway. It's shout-out time, ladies and gentlemen, and we would like to wish happy birthdays to Damage alum Joseph Grande, and Damage alum and a member of the 1995 Damage Championship team, Dina Johnson. Also would like to wish a special happy birthday to my cousin Luke Nasta, up there in Blairstown, New Jersey, which is very famous for Friday the 13th, 1 and 2, Camp Crystal Lake. Awesome place to be. Happy birthday to all you guys. Happy birthday.
Yes, sir, we promised you a great main event here tonight. Andre, the giant. WrestleMania!
Hulkamania is running wild.
My God, what
And it's now time to get into a Golden Era tournament. The results from round number 4 as the Elite 8 is now down to the final 4. It was me and Nick last week going over it, and some pretty interesting matchups took place.
I see that.
It was, did you take a look at it, Nick?
Yeah, absolutely, of course.
Okay, it was in a match that some will consider a dream match. Andre the Giant versus The Undertaker. And it was Andre the Giant victorious. And the big man will move on to the final 4. It was the Macho Man Randy Savage taking on Bob Backlund in the Elite 8. And it was the Macho Man Randy Savage moving on. Probably taking on his biggest challenge of any tournament he's been in so far, as he will battle with Andre the Giant.
Probably the biggest man he's ever faced as well.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And he's faced Andre in the past as he was the WWF World Heavyweight Champion. Macho Man Randy Savage did defeat Andre the Giant a couple times, once via pinfall, mostly through disqualification because of interference from the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. He's lost a couple of times by countout, but Andre the Giant never pinned Randy Savage, and Randy Savage has pinned Andre the Giant.
So I guess the favor is in Savage.
It could
right
be.
Now.
It could be. In the bottom bracket, it was Tully Blanchard knocking off the King of Hearts, Owen Hart. Owen Hart is gone.
That's shocking.
And a lot of people...
I definitely think that's somewhat of an upset, depending on which way you look at it. But, I mean, it was a great matchup regardless.
A lot of people are looking forward to the Bret Hart versus Owen Hart, but that's not going to happen. Tully Blanchard, a very underrated technical wrestler. In technical wrestling, we'll get into in a little while, but A very underrated technical wrestler. He knocks off Owen Hart, moves on to the Final Four, and it was Bret the Hitman Hart defeating Hulk Hogan.
Unbelievable.
Hulk Hogan's out.
The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
Knocks out the icon, the man who changed the face of World Wrestling Entertainment, and he is gone. So it will be Bret the Hitman Hart versus Tully Blanchard in the bottom bracket, and Macho Man Randy Savage versus Andre the Giant in the top bracket, and that is a Final Four of the Golden Era, and that's just crazy.
And I look forward to those finals right there.
There's
a couple different matchups that I'd love to see, man. I think a lot of fans would like to see Hart versus Macho Man. I think that'd be a great matchup. But at the same time, if you look at it, if you want to go a little bit further back, I mean, you go Andre the Giant versus Tully Blanchard. That'd be a great matchup as well.
And a lot of people say that Andre the Giant was indeed, if not one of the most popular, that he might have been in his prime one of the best wrestlers of all time.
It's arguably, yeah, you really could look at it that way. And for a man of his size, I mean, he was the big guy back then. You had a lot of wrestlers who were oversized, but Andre the Giant was that larger-than-life character.
Not large enough for Hogan to slam him, though.
Well, Hulk Hogan's Hulk Hogan. I mean, you can't really look at it any other way than that.
Hogan was one of many people that body slammed Andre the Giant. If you actually go to YouTube and type in wrestlers who body slammed Andre the Giant, you'll see there's about 25 wrestlers who body slammed Andre the Giant, including Kamala.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. Big
But
John Studd.
the only one you really see or hear about is Hulk Hogan because it was on the biggest stage of it all.
And Hogan, to his credit, Andre the Giant was probably at his heaviest of his wrestling career in that mid to late 80s.
Yeah.
While he was still mobile. So, that's dead weight. A lot of the YouTube videos you see, it's kind of like Andre was coming off the ropes, then got picked up, so a lot of his momentum of his weight is going forward, so it's a lot easier to slam a guy, where Hogan picked him up dead weight off his feet. It was more of a three-quarter body slam. It wasn't completely head over heels of a slam.
Do you remember that body slam match between Big John Studd and Andre the Giant?
Yes, that was a money match. Was it something like $5,000?
$15,000.
Yeah, $15,000, and Bobby Heenan ran off with the money.
Yep. WrestleMania 1? 2?
Two. Yeah, I want to say it was 2.
It was.
It was 2. All right, let's get into a little technical wrestling. We were going to get into our recap of JCW live in Kenilworth, New Jersey, but JerseyChampionshipWrestling.com did not update their website, so we'll have to let Ricky O, who will be calling in a little while, know that bad form. Bad form. You're coming on the show. You got to make sure your website is updated if you want us to promo it.
We need the information, Ricky O.
Come on, man. But I sent this to Nick a couple days ago. This is a compiled list of 64 of the greatest technical wrestlers of all time. Okay. Not showmen, not guys with cool mic skills, not jacked up, muscle-bound, grotesque guys. These are guys who are considered mat technicians, guys who can wrestle. Has nothing to do with their mic skills, nothing. It's all about the art of wrestling.
And I'm loving some of the names I see.
Okay.
The list is stacked, top to bottom.
The bracket that's up now is not the permanent bracket. It is the permanent list of guys. I have not hit the shuffle button that will shuffle the seeds. This is pretty much the order as I typed them in. Mike Rotunda, Billy Kidman, Harley Race, Bob Backlund, Rey Mysterio Jr., Ultimo Dragon, Ken Shamrock, Jake the Snake Roberts, Lanny Poffo, Macho Man Randy Savage, Taz, MVP, the Canadian Killer, Kurt Angle, Andre the Giant pre-1984, Bob Lashley, Rob Van Dam, Ronnie Garvin, Jacques Rougeau, Dean Malenko, Haku or Meng, whatever era you want to know him as, same guy. Ravishing Rick Rude, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Jeff Hardy, Flying Brian Pillman, Jerry the King Lawler, Lou Thez, X-Pac, Scott Steiner pre-Big Papa Pump, Brock Lesnar, Chavo Guerrero Jr., Johnny Rods, CM Punk, Dynamite Kid, Eddie Guerrero, Lance Storm,
I like that.
Scott Hall pre-NWO, William Regal, Daniel Bryan, Rick Steiner, Don the Rock Morocco, Fit Finlay, Edge, Chris Jericho, Hulk Hogan pre-1987. Yes, a great technical wrestler back in the early parts of his career before he got too big and was showcased as the Muscle Man.
Of course, before I was born.
Yes. Cody Rhodes, Rick the Model Martel, Matt Hardy, Kurt Hennig, Owen Hart, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, Tito Santana, Larry Zbyszko, Double A Arn Anderson, Bret Hitman Hart, Ric Flair pre-1995, Dustin Rhodes, Tully Blanchard, the Iron Sheik, the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, Jack Swagger, Greg the Hammer Valentine, Shawn Michaels, and Christian. There's your 64-man technical tournament.
Do you have any picks? Do you have a pick? A number one pick? A winner? Make a prediction. You're good at predictions. I'd like to hear one.
I'm trying to go outside the box on that list. Besides some of the names that some individuals might say.
I got a pick.
I got a pick.
What's your pick?
My pick? Well, my pick is between two. My pick is between Taz and Lance Storm, because I really like Lance Storm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think he was a great technical wrestler.
My pick is Dean Malenko.
I'd like Dean Malenko. You know what? Ultimate Dragon.
Ultimate Dragon also good.
We'll see. Well, maybe we'll have to check back and see if our predictions were right.
Yeah.
No Sin Cara on this list.
Yeah, we don't even have
I think he played Anderson Silva last night, actually.
I think Sin Cara is going to fill in for, Unico is going to fill in for The Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Oh, The Undertaker will be there.
It'll be Unico as The Undertaker taking on, who knows.
You never know.
Oh, my God.
Maybe Jerry the King Lawler, too. He's a great
it's
technical wrestler. Most championships ever,
yes,
right? Technically?
Technically, yes.
68 times?
It could be as much as 75 times.
75 times.
I mean, just the USWA alone was 26 times.
Someone top
I
that.
think we've had this conversation numerous times, I think, about what belts should count and
I think they should all count. They should all count. I mean, look.
It doesn't matter what organization you're a part of. I feel every belt should count.
I mean, you're given the belt for a reason. You're representing that league, that brand, that federation. So if they feel necessary that to give you that title and to make you, the poster child, or as WWE likes to say, the face of the franchise, then you know what? Then I recognize that title. I mean, it's got to be a world title. I'm not talking TV title or U.S. title or extreme or hardcore. I'm talking about world title and
whatever the top title in that industry was.
Yeah, and I mean, like you look at it like now, like JCW's world champion is Damian Darling, and he is right now. If his career ended tomorrow, he has a world championship to his name. And that's the way it should be, and that's the way it should always be.
Do you feel Damian Darling is deserving of that championship, or do you feel it should be handed to somebody else in JCW?
I think Damian Darling does a very good job as the face of JCW.
So you think he's earned the right?
I think he's earned the right. Damian Darling has put a lot of work into his career and a lot of work into his character and his persona. And he very much reminds me a lot of Brian Pillman.
Okay.
Maybe I think Damian Darling is a little bit bigger, muscle-wise, but he kind of has the same. You look at him; he's got the good looks, he's got the good build, but he's got a crazy look. Like, at any time, it looks like he can snap and just go berserk.
Wow.
And I think that's something that the industry is missing too. I mean, you had a lot of those guys back in the '90s, and you don't have as many of them today. Those guys that just look crazy. You have it with Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, and with Roman Reigns as well. But I feel like the industry needs a little bit more of that. The guys that look like they want to snap it all at any time.
I liked Sid Vicious. I thought he was one of those type of guys.
Yes. Yes and no. I just felt that Sid Vicious had absolutely no wrestling skills whatsoever.
I agree, but he had the look.
He was the big guy who couldn't move, but was in the industry because of his size.
Right. It
Yeah,
could have been the look too. His demeanor.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, again, with Damian Darling, he's an independent wrestler, so he's been all around. And now that I'm kind of happy that he's like kind of settled up, he's found a home with JCW, and now he can really launch his career using JCW as a springboard. Matt Stryker did it. Matt Stryker, if everybody's listened to the interview, the reason why he's back here in JCW is because he's giving back. That's where he started. JCW gave him his break.
And that's why a lot of these guys come back to JCW to do these appearances, or for a month or two here or there, is because of how JCW helped them evolve as wrestlers, on the mic, and the personas in general.
Yeah. And, this is where you practice your craft. I mean, you practice your craft in front of 112 people. You don't practice your craft in front of 40,000 people.
Right.
Okay? And this is kind of where you fine-tune everything. You fine-tune your mic skills, your ring entrance, your swagger in the ring,
Persona.
Yeah, everything. Your moves. You get everything down. You finally tune your craft, and this is pretty much what independent wrestling does. It's kind of like, I hate to say it, it's kind of like the minor leagues, but we're going to have Ricky O call in momentarily, and we're going to get his view. And we'd like to welcome to the show the head man, the boss, the president, the man in charge of Jersey Championship Wrestling, Ricky O. Welcome to the show.
What's up, guys? How are you?
What's going on? It's a pleasure to have you here, honor to have you here. We appreciate everything that you do for Damage 365, inviting us to shows, getting us close to the wrestlers and getting them on our shows and stuff. Now it's our time to say thank you, my man, and let's hear what you have to say about the future of Jersey Championship Wrestling here in New Jersey.
Well, I mean, first I want to say thanks to you guys. Happy holidays to everybody listening. It's always fun having you guys at the show, and I'm glad we've become friends of the show.
Same here.
It's a wonderful show.
The future of JCW, it's always what it's been for me. Since we started back in December of 2000 with JCW, we just want to put on good wrestling shows that a son and his dad or his mom can come to, and people can see stars that they watched as a kid and see the stars of tomorrow now. And that was always my goal when we started this company.
And I think you do a really, really good job with it. I mean, you got a lot of these former large market, big company guys coming back, pretty much paying homage to you and JCW and the independent fans, saying, you know what, this is where I started. There's no shame of coming back and telling everybody that this is what I love to do, and if it wasn't for leagues like JCW, I wouldn't be here. And I really had a all newfound respect for Matt Stryker during his interview when he said it. I mean, first thing he said was, "This is where I started. I love it. I love coming back here and showing the fans appreciation for getting me where I was."
Yeah, Matt's a different breed. So is the Spirit Squad. Kenny and Mikey. Those are guys that just really love the business. They wanted to become somebody in wrestling, and they worked their butts off till they did, and they got to the top. They had their time in the sun, unfortunately, it wasn't as long, as some guys up there who, maybe aren't as talented, I think, and, the politics always has something to do with it, but
of course.
They've come back, and instead of being big shots or a chip on their shoulder, those three guys go out and they work every single night. They have fun. They're locker room leaders. They're out there teaching kids. I mean, we'll get into it, I'm sure, in a little while, but you saw the Spirit Squad work the Down Boys this weekend, and you couldn't ask for more as a promoter to see two guys who were WWE World Tag Team Champions working Triple H and Shawn Michaels come down and work a team that I got a lot of hope for and make them look like stars.
Yeah, the Down Boys, I've said it many times on the show. I've told them I have very high hopes for them. They work very well together. They're very young, very talented, very raw, but that's, that comes with the business when they're young. But they're very, my feel is they're very talented beyond their years.
Well, the word I use with those kids are they're coachable.
Yep.
They haven't been corrupted yet, and it's a shame that there's a lot of talent out there that really was. Listen, New York, New Jersey, and Philadelphia is the hotbed of professional wrestling. If you can make it here, you're going to go to the Fed. You're going to work for Vince, and you're going to make money. And those kids remind me a lot of guys like the Backseat Boys, a lot facially of the Haas brothers.
Okay.
And I think they're just very coachable. They're very raw, like you said, but they're not corrupted by these guys who go out there and give these kids these huge egos and blow smoke up their ass, and they get a big head, and then next thing you know, they're kind of hard to work with. They're not like that at all. They want to learn. They're spending time with Danny Inferno, who, trust me, is the best locker room, head of a locker room anywhere in the country right now that's not named Jim Cornette. And Danny Inferno is the best guy. I've been with Danny since he was 14 years old. I've watched Danny's career go to the WWE. I've seen him do over 100 TV tapings for them, go down to work OVW for 10 years. There's not a guy on this indies right now who can lend more to a bunch of young kids than Danny, and I'm so lucky to have him in the locker room.
Right, and I feel like the Down Boys put on a great show every time they're out there. They're athletic, and they got the look. They got the hip look, like what's in nowadays.
Right. I agree, 100%.
Nick, you got anything to add? Question?
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. When we were down in when I was down in Jersey about a month or so ago for the Manville show, I mean, they were doing the interview with Down Boys. They were great guys, and they're motivated. They know what they want in the industry. They know where they want to go. They know where they want to be in 5 years. Which in the industry, some people just steer and just follow what road comes to them, whereas they have goals, and I have a feeling they're going to go out and achieve those goals.
They're great performers. I totally feel like they can make it one day, and they will make it.
I actually think I have the best tag team division of anybody in the country right now.
I would agree.
You definitely have a better tag team division in WWE, because theirs is horrible.
Yeah, tag team wrestling is a forgotten art, and I'll be honest with you, we were always known for it with the Haas brothers, the Hit Squad, who, bar none in my 14 years of ever promoting JCW, I've never had bigger stars than Monster Mac and Moff, ever. Those guys, I tell the story all the time. I had a regular building in Lodi that we ran 500, 600, 700 people a night every month, and when they came through the curtain, I couldn't have got a bigger pop if I had Hogan or Macho Man there. And that's a total compliment to those guys. I love them both. I'm still friends with both of those guys. But tag team wrestling's been forgotten about, and now with JCW, you got Glitz and Glamour. We just put out a new tag team this week of Mo Sexton and McIntosh, who I think just looked phenomenal in their matchup. And you got the Players Club, and it's really just something we're trying to build because it's a great art, And then you got these two monsters that come out now, the Sons of Kamala, 900 pounds of two men who just beat the crap out of people, and it's fun, If you watch the matches in tag team wrestling, there's drama because it's a team now. Instead of a one-on-one game, it's a team game, and the fans get behind that.
I was just gonna ask you, do you think you have any tag teams that could actually take them down? The Sons of Kamala?
Right now, no. I don't think there's anybody out there that could.
They are monsters.
Dream matchup, but that's down the road. But that would be the Hit Squad.
They are absolute monsters that can move.
I think we need to get maybe a Jeff Cannonball, Danny Demento tag team and give the Kamalas a run for their money there.
Oh, I'd love to see it.
I'll be honest,
There's going to be a lot of weight in that ring.
We got to get Danny concentrated on his comeback. I heard January 24th, and less talking about his Dallas Cowboys.
Yes, absolutely. I agree, too. And after tonight, I don't think we're going to have to hear much about Dallas.
Oh,
I think they're winning the Super Bowl.
no, shut up.
Yeah, really, just shut up.
He's a Jet fan, but he doesn't know squat.
Tony Romo's been holding them down. They're winning the Super Bowl now. Cinderella story.
It would be really funny if they go out tonight and score like 60 points without Romo.
They're going to win the Super Bowl.
To the top.
It would be ironic. They finally win in December, late December and January, and it's not Tony Romo at quarterback.
And that's why they win. Cowboys win the Super Bowl. You heard it here first.
Oh God, shut up. Oh,
Okay.
4 weeks I didn't have to hear this. Now you're back and you're talking stupid again.
That's what I do.
Okay. Yes, he does. Okay, so we were looking at. Just to let you know that your website not updated, by the way. Shame, bad form.
I got to get on short for that. Okay.
Because we were going to recap the show, and not updated, but
actually, I think he put out after the show. He was doing the updates tonight. That'll be ready for Monday. He had some family stuff.
it's all right. I'll copy paste it right to our page, Facebook.com/Damage365 for everybody listening at home, and I know you are. JerseyChampionshipWrestling.com. You can go there. You can check out all the results and their advertisement posters for every show since September. And the future showings coming up, which January 24th in Manville, New Jersey, Damage 365 will be in the house. To check out Gene Snitsky, Jake the Snake Roberts, Spirit Squad, Matt Stryker, and the normal cast of characters, including champion Damian Darling. And
those are some wonderful names to have on the card.
And Bandito Jr., the Extreme Champ, and one of my personal new favorites, Mr. Too Hot Scott, and the Selfie Superstar.
Yep, the Selfie Superstar. You gotta love it. Taking the social media to the ring. How about that one, guys?
I mean, and posting him on his Facebook, which is hilarious because some of the expressions of his opponents are pretty priceless. Of like, what the hell is this guy doing?
He's taking a selfie.
He's got selfies with the crowd. He's got selfies with the referee. He's got selfies with his opponent. And then his opponents sometimes steal the phone and take selfies of themselves, usually them laying on top of him for the 3 count. But he did promise us he will be doing a selfie with Damage 365 next time. So I don't think that's considered a selfie. It's more like a groupie.
Maybe we can get in the ring and get a selfie.
Yeah.
There you go.
And live the big dream.
So what do we have to look forward to besides I said Jake the Snake? Anything else really big coming to JCW in the near future?
Well, Jake is a great start. Jake's people reached out to us and said that he was really looking to try to get himself back into the Royal Rumble. He's got himself in great shape. He's really looking to do one more serious run with a big company. And they reached out to us. I'm lucky enough to have had contacts with a bunch of people who are very close to him, like Diamond Dallas Page and people along those lines. And they vouched for him. They said, look, he's clean. He's doing well. And he really wants to go somewhere and work. He doesn't want to walk in the ring, hit a DDT, and go home. He wants to show people he can wrestle. So we're going to give him that shot, and I'm excited about that. In March, we're going to do the first ever J Cup Tag Team Tournament.
Okay.
Yes.
On that date, we're also going to announce the return of the original J Cup, not the watered-down version that went to another company when I left the business for a couple of years, but the original that produced guys like Daniel Bryan and CM Punk and Colt Cabana, Reckless Youth, Low Key. These are all names that made their name in the J Cup. Jay Lethal. And we're going to look for that class of 16 again that is going to shock the nation and bring them all to one building, and we're going to tear it down. And you guys are going to be a big part of that because you're going to be there.
Yeah.
And you're going to help me get the word out on that.
Absolutely.
Oh, you know it.
And we're going to just
around New York myself, don't worry.
10 years ago when JAP, which is, just a great company, I have nothing but respect for those guys. PWS right now is tearing it up every month. Whenever they run, they do a great job. So we're just going to get wrestling back in New Jersey in this area back on the top as it deserves to be.
And you're doing a great job of it right now.
Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
I have one question before we let you go, and I'm not just going to ask this because I'm a guy and I enjoy women in bathing suits or practically anything.
I see where this is going.
Are you going to introduce a female division of wrestling?
you'll be seeing on some of the shows. We're going to be adding some more women. I'll be honest with you, it went through a phase. WSU was great. A bunch of companies came out 5 years ago, and it was the rage. Everything was women's wrestling. Then all of a sudden, these women either got married, got pregnant, or got a real job, and they've all disappeared. I would love to say to you guys, hey, we're going to have 3 women's matches on a show coming up, but you know what? I'm not going to sacrifice the product and put crap out there that's not ready to be in front of a crowd.
Right.
We're working on it. We hope to really sum that up and get it a little tightened up in the next 2 to 3 months. You'll see more of that in JCW, but at this time, I'm not going to rush it.
No, I don't blame you, and you have the advantage this day and era of the internet and social networking that, anybody that wants to kind of promo themselves to you and their wrestling ability, that they can send you video footage of their matches and things like that, which makes it a lot easier, so you don't have to travel halfway across the United States to see so-and-so, live in her wrestling event. So it's got to make your job a little easier now with the technology that's available.
It definitely does, and I tell a funny story. Going back years ago, my wife and I, at the time, every week we would open the mail and we'd have 10 bulky VHS tapes that somebody sent to us. And you're going to laugh at me because what I used to do with them, and I'm not even trying to be funny. I wouldn't even watch more than 30 seconds of it because it was all generic. Somebody shot it with a handheld. It looked terrible. They'd miss the spot that the guy was trying to get, and the camera wouldn't keep up. So I just take The Simpsons and Family Guy over them all the time. And just decide to be I mean, blank tapes all the time and reuse.
Oh, man.
And Facebook and stuff like that has made it so much easier and so much better now. It's guys from all over the world. I mean, I'm not even kidding. I get tapes and matches sent to me from places like Germany. I've gotten stuff sent to me from as far away as China. That guys are coming to the United States and would love to take part in the show, and that's great to me. I love it. It's a business that we all mark out for, and if you're a liar, if you don't say you're a mark. And at one time or another, we all wanted to be in this, and we got ourselves in one way or another, and it's made it a lot easier. You're absolutely right.
I wanted to be involved in wrestling since I was a little kid, and some say I've still got that little kid inside this very large, out of shape body, but I still want to be involved, and this is kind of why we did this radio show to begin with. We started for shits and giggles, and all of a sudden we booked one guest, we booked another guest, and we're booked all the way into March now, and I'm just trying to keep up with it, and I had to buy a calendar book and write stuff down because I'm almost 40. I can't even remember what I ate for dinner last night, let alone who's coming on the show in March.
And just like him, I've always wanted to be in the wrestling business too, but I don't feel I'm built for that. Maybe if I packed on a couple of pounds, Ricky, I'll show you some moves, and maybe we can see what we can do.
There's always ring crew. There's always the announcer. There's always somebody that's got to take tickets. There's always security.
I want to wrestle.
Or do a radio show. What are you doing, man?
Yeah, we can do live shows from the show itself.
I would love to.
If we get somebody that has, if you get to a one of these VFWs or something that has wireless we can access, we can do a show live from your event.
Hey, I'm all for it. I would love it. Sit down right in between matches with some of the guys.
Awesome. There's one thing I would like to do, if possible. We'd like to schedule a dark match. My co-host over here, JT, versus the Sarge.
I think he might be your biggest fan. I don't think you want that guy getting hurt.
well, I'm his biggest fan as well. So I would love to.
There's a lot of people, listen, behind the scenes that really make JCW happen. My wife is one. Jimmy Storm and his wife are two just awesome people who have gone out of their way to help get this company back and rolling. There's a huge benefit to that. I don't know, am I allowed to say certain words? Are we on radio?
It's okay.
You say what you want.
There's a guy in front of the camera and in the ring who's a complete scumbag piece of garbage, and that's Danny D'Amato. He gets over like you wouldn't believe by being hated, but behind the scenes he's done nothing but be helpful and do a great job of helping me get this off the... You got to understand something, guys. I ran Jersey Championship Wrestling for about 10 years, but it was always based in North Jersey, from Edison up to, say, the Oakland area. I never really ventured down out of respect to Gino Moore and those guys. We didn't cross, boundaries, and it was just too much of a hassle. Then when I went on the NWA and I was booking nationally, we were all the way up to Maine, down to Florida, across to Las Vegas and California. And, even though I lived in New Jersey my whole life, I've never run towns like Parlin or Kenilworth. I didn't know what to expect. And guys like the Down Boys, Danny DeMonto, Danny Inferno, they've gotten out of their way with people like Jimmy Storm to really make this easy for us to step right in and be successful. And, you guys see it. I got my 9-year-old kid jumping up on the ring, doing ring crew. I got my other daughter who's 13 taking tickets and selling tickets. It's a family affair. Actually, what we're looking to do in 2014 is we're going to try to shoot a little bit of a reality show called Behind the Mania, where we're going to show just what it takes to run indie wrestling. People think, you hang up a poster and people show up. It's so much more than that. It's so much harder.
That's a wonderful idea. I think that would totally succeed.
Yeah, that'd be a cool watch. That's for sure.
It's not easy to do nowadays. You're competing with so many facets for $1. Wrestling went through a negative period. It's called the 7-year cycle. I'm sure you guys have
heard. Yep.
And we're starting to catch a little bit of buzz. WrestleMania in the tri-state area last year really jump-started a lot of wrestling again. But if you throw a crap product out there, which there's plenty of guys who do that, you leave a bad taste in their mouth. When you're putting inexperienced kids in a ring or guys that are just bad. I mean, I had it happen to me this week. You saw it. There was an incident at our show which nobody approved, nobody understood why it happened, and it did happen. And it could have cost us a lot of problems with the building and stuff like that. And thank God, the building was understanding that the guy went into business for himself, basically. I'm not even going to put his name out there because he's a piece of shit, and I wouldn't give him the publicity of having his name mentioned with our company ever again. But, there's so many aspects that you got to be aware of to make people come. Are the Sons of Kamala too scary for an all-kids show? There's a thin line. I saw 2 kids this week run out of the building crying when they came out. Like, it was, the reaction was insane. It's, of course, what we want, but we also don't want them to be too scared not to come back.
Right. I think I know exactly what
you're talking about. There's a fine line. You get some of these VFWs, that's all they want. They want to see women. Bring in the boobs. Bring in this. And then the moms say, I ain't never bringing my kid to this again. So you have to really walk that fine line, and people don't really understand how tough it is.
No, I totally agree with you, and we are in total support of JCW Wrestling in New Jersey. We do hope that you come a little further south towards the Old Bridge area, near us, Keyport, Cliffwood Beach.
I would love to get my foot in Keyport, man. Keep an eye open for us.
Well, we know enough people in there, so I can get them in touch with you directly, and we can see what happens.
We will try our best.
Well, listen, anybody out there, any kind of charity event, we love to do things that involves kids, schools, stuff like that. But JCW is not just about wrestling. We go in, we do anti-bullying speech. We've gone and done anti-drug speeches in high schools, and we literally have kids that check themselves into rehab. My phone number is 201-257-8621. I give that out to kids. God forbid you're being bullied, you need to talk. There's a situation, suicide, anything like that, God forbid. Contact us, talk to us, get it out. Let people know you need help, because you know what? These athletes are athletes that people could look up to, but they're also human beings that have a heart and know what to do or how to talk to somebody that needs help. And more people should be like what my guys are in the locker room and go out of their way to help other people.
Thank you, Ricky. I commend you for that.
That's awesome. And also just we like to thank you for your time today, and taking time out on your Sunday of football watching and probably pasta eating, and taking the time to give us a call and talk a little bit about the business with us. And again, we thank you for your hospitality with us to your shows, and we look forward to the 24th show in Manville as JCW invades Manville for the 2nd time this year. And Rick, thank you very much. Thank your family. They're a very large part of what you do, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me on. Listen, everybody out there, again, Happy New Year. Keep it safe, guys, and, keep listening.
All right. Thanks, Rick.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Ricky.
Happy New Year.
You too. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye. That was Ricky O, the main man in charge, the president of Jersey Championship Wrestling, and a little inside on his business. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go past our 45-minute program, but it will not be live. So we will have the Down Boys call in momentarily, and we will get them on, and we'll go through our normal closing of the show procedures, and we'll get extended playtime, and that playtime will be on our Facebook account, facebook.com/damage365, and you can listen to the rest of the show on there. But right now we want to bring in our next guest, so hold on 1 second for that. We want to welcome to the show the future of JCW, the future of the tag team ranks,
The future of wrestling.
the team that was just victorious over the former WWE Tag Team Champion Spirit Squad. They are Tony, and they are Steve. They are the Down Boys. Welcome to the show, guys.
Tony, good to have us. Thank you. What's up, man? Thanks.
What's going on? We just had the boss, Ricky O, on. He gave you guys very high praise, and well deserved, of course, because you guys do just a very, very athletic. You guys work very well together. You're very entertaining, and like I've told you guys before, I see big things in your future, and Ricky agrees. And as long as you guys keep your heads on straight,
You're always at the top of your game.
you're gonna go really far in this business, which we hope you do, because we would love to say that we're watching WWE. And look, there's the Down Boys live on TV, and they're from Jersey. They're from Jersey, not just AJ Lee, but the Down Boys are from Jersey.
Yeah, actually, a couple more good-looking people from Jersey on WWE television there,
Oh, look at it! I just got their egos just inflated a little. All right, so just a couple questions for you. In about 2 minutes, we're gonna put you on hold. We're gonna end our regular scheduled program, but we're going to continue the tapes to record, and we'll record the entire interview, and it'll go on our Facebook page. But right now, like, how does it feel to work with like a team like Spirit Squad that's been there, that's held the tag team titles in WWE, defeating the likes of Kane and the Big Show, and fought guys like HBK and Triple H? I don't want to say, like, was it intimidating to get into the ring with these guys? Like, how did they make it for you, wise, to get in the ring with them?
They made it simple. They broke it down, and they were calm. They didn't act like they were, like hot shit, so to speak. They acted like they were cool guys, on our level. They spoke to us like we were human beings, not like some other guys we've met who treat us like like we're on the bottom.
Yeah.
But they spoke to us as humans, and we were able to actually put some cool stuff together. We were able to throw some ideas out there, as well as bouncing back and forth with cool ideas for the show. And working against guys like that was truly a measuring stick for us. It's like a serious boost and a jump from where we were working guys, normal guys like the local people to WWE superstars. It's a truly amazing thing, and for us it's just a measuring stick to say, hey, let's go out there and give these guys the best we got. Let's go out there and put the best show on we can in front of our hometown, and let's just tear the house down as best we can, and that's what we wanted to do, and that's what we did, I hope.
Yeah, it was an unreal moment. It was like, I was shaking all week over the fact, I was getting ready, in the gym training, really expecting, the unexpected, and what was really unexpected was, how down to earth and how professional those guys really were, and it was just, it was unbelievable. It was, it was fun. It was fun. It wasn't something where the pressure was all there and it built into a huge giant bubble. We went out there, we did our thing. We had fun, and it was an unforgettable night to me and Tony, and hopefully everybody there enjoyed it.
No, absolutely. We're gonna put you on hold for like 2 seconds, and we'll be right back with you. So don't go anywhere. Oh, nope, they're still there. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to close out our regular scheduled program. We'd like to thank Ricky O and the Down Boys. We will continue the Down Boys interview in our Damage 365 God,
It's the segment.
extended segment. Thanks, Nick. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, we will have our season number 2 debut, and we will have Melissa Coates, a female wrestler on the indie circuit, in the house, and she will be interviewing with us. We do want to wish everybody a happy and safe New Year, and remember, help control the nitwit population and have your friends spayed or neutered. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Closing time for you to go out to the places you will be from. Closing time, this room